Can I admit something to you? I have a problem, and it's kind of getting serious. I want to do all the things all the time, and maybe you can relate. I'm telling you what, between running a home, homeschooling, trying to build this business that I have, my family priorities, and that Pinterest board that's full of ideas I swear I'll get to someday, honestly, it's a lot. And if you're wired like me, with a heart to serve and a mind that never stops planning and a desire to just get it right, the temptation to try to do everything is so strong, and I'm literally fighting it daily. But here is the truth. Doing everything will cost you one thing that matters most, and that is peace. That has been my experience. So today we're going to talk about a few things that I have been really struggling with and I'm working through, and I'm hoping that you will come alongside and work through them with me. So if you are ready for this, let's dive in. Welcome to AI for Mompreneurs. This podcast is for moms who are tired of doing everything the hard way. You're running a business, managing a home, caring for your children, and making a million decisions daily, exhausted, overwhelmed, burned out, and out of time. Another planner won't fix it, more productivity hacks won't either. I know because I've been there. I'm Samantha Welch, a wife, a mom to 3 daughters, homeschooling my girls and my niece, running multiple businesses, and managing my 40-acre farm. I've burned myself out more times than I can count trying to do it all with excellence. The game changer, AI. When I learned how to use AI as my personal assistant, everything shifted. I finally had systems that worked, clarity in my business, and more time for what actually matters. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Learn how AI can take the mental load off your plate so you can focus on what truly matters most. No tech jargon or complicated setups here. Just AI that works for mamas just like us. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the shiny object syndrome, which can be abbreviated SOS because it seriously is a problem. I would say it's probably safe to say that you aren't chasing just random things. Like, we're actually chasing things that are really good and can be really good in and of themselves. You know, like it could be anything from using a new platform that could actually help you streamline things better to that new exciting offer because you just had this breakthrough and you want to share with others. Free trainings, I don't know about y'all, but I have a problem with just doing free trainings all the time on things that I really don't need. And then the idea of this next thing will finally make things click for me. I'm always like, oh, if I learn about this, then these things will click. But here's what I found, that if I never stick to one thing long enough to let it grow, I will always feel like I'm starting over. So I'm going to say the SOS, shiny object syndrome, is not about distraction. It's actually a symptom of fear. And I know, ouch, because that's the way I felt when I kind of figured this out. But for me, I think it's fear that I'm not enough. It's fear that what I'm doing won't work. And so I'm constantly trying to figure out a new way to make sure it works. And it's also fear that someone else is doing it better. And the truth is there probably is somebody else doing it better. But that doesn't matter. I have to know that God has given me the gifts that He's given me and that somebody needs to hear it from my perspective. And so it doesn't matter what someone else is doing, if they've been doing it longer, if they do it better. It is up to me to steward the calling that I've been given. And here is where I think that systems come into play, because trying to stay focused on your own will eventually fail. Because willpower wears thin. I cannot tell you how, especially during certain times of the month or whatever, I am like gung-ho, ready to do this, ready to make this happen. And then it'll come like a couple weeks down the road and I will just completely lose the willpower and say, well, I just think the whole program is crap. I'm just going to retry something totally different. And that is why I need guardrails in my life. I have to make sure that I have written out my clear priorities so that I can keep going back to those and say, what is actually important to me? What am I trying to accomplish? What are the goals? And then I need a rhythm for saying yes and no. I need to be able to know, like, based on these priorities, should I be saying yes to this or should I be saying no to this? And I'm telling you, this is something that I'm continually working on because I do say yes to way too many things. And I end up saying no then to good things, because anytime that you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. And I need someone or something that brings me back to what's important. So I think that it is super important to have accountabilities in your life, to have somebody who you say, hey, this is my goal, this is what I'm wanting to do. So when you start getting off track, they can look and say, hey, is that going along with like what you want to do, what's important to you? Honestly, too, this is where AI has become a game changer to me. Because even though I do have real life accountability partners, sometimes it is really handy just to have my AI assistant remind me of my goals, because I have everything written down and it knows what my goals are and not everybody else's. And it's coming at it from basically my perspective, right? So it's super biased as far as telling me what it is that I told it. It's really good to mirror my values back to me and helps me say no to distractions that don't align. So when I get a new idea, which I do practically daily, instead of chasing it down a rabbit hole, well, let me backtrack on that, because I'm still chasing ideas down rabbit holes. But instead of chasing them down rabbit holes as much, I actually brain dump into my assistant this new idea just to get it out of my head. And then I ask, does this actually support the life that I say I want? Does this actually support my business goals? And I tell it to be honest with me. And most of the time it comes back and it says it doesn't. And that's great, because then I'm like, oh yeah, no, it doesn't. But I've still got that idea out of my head. It's there. I mean, I could come back to it later, I guess, if I wanted to. But then it gives that clear answer, because I know that I have trained my assistant to know about me and what my goals and my values are and what's important to me. And so when it says that it doesn't align with that, I'm like, okay, I can go with that, and it helps me to drop that new idea better. So let's talk about needle movers, because they are a lot simpler than you think. And this is something that I have started figuring out. I want a peaceful, profitable business, and I only actually can work on this business 10 hours a week. That's it. I don't have a ton of time to dedicate to business. I have so many other things going on. So what I have to do is I have to figure out what are those things that actually move the needle forward for me. And some of those examples for me in particular is that showing up consistently on this podcast is very, very important. That's what moves the needle for me. Serving my clients well, 1,000% important. How well I serve my clients is going to determine on whether I get more clients, really, because word of mouth is still king in a lot of businesses. And then another thing that's really important to me is building trust with my email list, which I'm still working on this, but I'm telling you, I do feel like email list is very important. Unfortunately, moving the needle forward is not building out 14 different funnels and going into Canva to tweak that design yet again, or revamping my website every month or my offer. And so what I love about using ChatGPT and AI as my assistant is that it actually can help me stay rooted in the few things that will actually create momentum. And I can go in and basically say, hey, what do I need to do to move my business forward? and then it will help me to be able to stay on track. That does not mean that I don't still get off track, because I absolutely do. That's why I'm creating this episode, because I'm still working through this myself. And so I'm also hoping this will help you as well. But it has been absolutely amazing just to be able to go into this assistant and say, hey, my tendency today is to go in and totally rebrand my business. What do I actually need to do to move the needle forward? And then I can have something that just kind of takes me back down and grounds me, you might say. So I'm like, okay, no, I don't need to do that. Actually, what I need to do is to record one of the 20 episode ideas that I have dumped here or whatever it is. If you are tired of chasing every new thing like I am, and you're ready to stay planted in what actually matters, you're not alone. AI won't give you discipline, but it can hold space for your goals. It can help you when your brain is chaos. And it can also be this great way to help you stay aligned with the life that you are wanting to build. And if you want your own trained assistant that knows you inside and out and is able to, at just a quick help me move my business forward prompt, give you exactly what you need to do, where it reflects your values and it helps simplify that mental load, my training program is for you. We go and have this extensive interview where I ask you all these right questions that really get down to the heart of who you are, what your business is, what your values are, your goals, your vision for your life. And then I can then take that, plug it in, go train your Chat GPT for you so that it knows you, so that the next time that you log into it, it not only helps with these really minor things, but it actually gives you responses where you're like, wow, it knows me. Like, this is actually helpful. So if you are nodding your head that this is something you feel like would be right for you, I would absolutely adore to be able to chat with you. And you can find a link actually in this show description where you can book a free coffee chat with me, and we can go over and make sure that this program is right for you. Okay, until next time, go and make AI work for you. That's it for today's episode. I hope you learned something new or had a breakthrough. If you loved this episode, take a second to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It lets me know you're enjoying this content and helps more moms find it. And if you know another mama who's struggling with overwhelm and burnout, share this with her. Let's spread the word that AI isn't just for corporate executives or tech nerds, it's for moms like us. Until next time, go make AI work for you.